And this is the face she made when I brought the stripper home. The sword too? The sword was for me. This is just showing I love anatomy. I love using the human body as a design element. These are very Yucca inspired. And I'm going to show you some various images I've done in the fantasy field for TSR. If you look closely, there's a little dead guy in his gut. This is a good story. It's another gay story. I don't know why there's a lot of gay stories in my I was living in Pittsburgh at the time, and I got the job to do Tarzan. I was very excited. I grew up on Rice Burrows, and I was in the park. Me and my wife were walking in the park, and this guy, Tarzan, he comes running by. And I'm like, whoa, that's Tarzan, you know? But I'm, you know, in my flip-flops and my shorts, and Lori's like, you got to get him to pose for this. But he's trucking. There's no way I'm catching this guy. He zips by, and him and his partner, they go by, and I see him. They're coming back around, and my wife's going, come on, you got to grab him. And I'm just too, you know, it's hard to do. Just walk up to somebody and ask them to be Tarzan. So they go running by, and finally I say, okay, and I take off after him. I'm in my flip-flops, and I'm running. I'm chasing Tarzan. I chase Tarzan into the parking lot, and chase Tarzan and his partner into the parking lot. And I run up, I'm out of breath, I'm sweating, and I go, hey, would you like to be Tarzan? And his partner sort of comes up between the two of us. What are you up to? But the guy was just a sweetheart. He was a great model. He really got into it, and he was dead on. And he was a real pleasure to work with. I got asked to do a series of toys by future models. Of course, my toys have a lot of sharp edges, and I know that's for kids. These are some quick prelims, and it'll move right into the skull. Notice the painting. It's actually a toy. Very beautiful. Wow. As artists, you don't get to collaborate that often, and it's always nice when people take your work and interpret it into a different media. That was Rockner did that sculpture. Nice. These are Halloween costumes. If I can dress up like my own characters and walk around the house. This is for the artists and art students and stuff. I'm going to go through some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. This is getting a book cover for The Savage Messiah. It's through Del Rey. And usually when I get an assignment, me and the art director talk over basic ideas, and I do a bunch of comps digitally, and we submit them, and we start refining them. We narrow it down to a couple, and these are still digital, just trying to work out the ideas. And then you can see the painting and the final with the type. There. Again, this is given an art assignment and just working out the composition, a few different poses. And that's working out digitally. This shows there's a more in-depth thing I'll go into later, but this shows the actual sketch, the comp, and then that's the final painting. That's a close-up on her.
So when you work digitally, you often do that in color tone as opposed to black and white?
Not so much for myself. When I'm doing it for a client, though, the more you can show them is often the better. And this is an example of trying to work out two different lighting arrangements with the same idea. And you know, there's not always necessarily a better way. It's sometimes personal taste. I think either one of these could have worked in the end. We just ended up going, here's the sketch. And then there's the final for that.
Wow.
This is my wife again. I was doing a series of the 7 Deadly Sins, and I picked her for greed. She did appreciate that, but not in the way that I was. A lot of people ask about the Diablo cover. When I did this, we did it in comp form first, and they wanted a full painting. And I have to admit that after I turned in this fully rendered painting, and then they ended up putting it through a filter, I was a little shocked. Big fan of the game. In their defense, at that time, things were done a bit more graphically, so I came to really like their graphic version. Apparently, there was also an issue with the hole in his head, and when we painted it like that, shortly after the Columbine incident happened, and marketing people decided that didn't think it was a good idea to have a big hole in the skull. So sometimes marketing handles these final decisions.